What's up, party people? This is Jude Snowboarder here from Facebook, Jude's Junk, Facebook comic book shop, and YouTube channel. And I watch a lot of the YouTube videos on the market, the top 10 list, Comic Tongue, Swaggle House, Collector's Comics. I don't know, a number, about 4 or 5 of them on a regular basis. And a lot of them lately have been talking about how the market's really bad right now and how it may affect people. And I'd been collecting for about 12 years back in 1992, and fresh out of high school, actually 92, I was probably 3 or 4 years into college, didn't have much money, invested in a lot of the spec books, overrun with millions of copies of some of the new hot books that we thought were going to make us rich. Everybody was expecting the independent comic books to be great, and I'm still trying to get rid of all my 90s crud independent books that ended up just being a waste of time and money. And as a young man, probably not even married, very distraught, very upset. I was expecting it just wasn't getting fun. You kept making decisions, and then everything looked like a speck and nothing was working. And unless you bought the keys from the 80s, and they were doing well, but back then we were buying cheap cover price books hoping they would blow up, and hoping they would blow up overnight, which was probably why it was so naive. Anyways, a lot of us got really down. Maybe we just grew up and had other focus and stuff like that, but I kept all my comic books safe. A lot of people just said, I don't want to sell them, I want to get rid of them, it's a bad taste in my mouth. Some people just stored them somewhere, but not very safe. Maybe the comics got destroyed over the years. One of my friends got flooded and put him in his parents' basement. Maybe they moved and forgot him. So here I am 30 years later, and I had all those comic books from 1992. And there was a lot of big keys in there. They weren't big in 92. And sure, I could have tried to sell everything back then in despair, but when you're in despair, I almost think it's just better to walk away. Just put everything down, go focus on something that doesn't break your heart, doesn't break you every day. Go focus on something fun. I think I played basketball. In fact, I know I got married in 92 and finishing college and ended up going to grad school, and kid came along in 95. And so just a lot of other focuses. But if you're down in this market and you invested a bunch of money, it's almost better just to put your comics away and walk away and focus on something that brings you joy instead of sadness every day. Trying to liquidate, it's going to make things worse. I know you might be totally broke, and maybe in some cases you have to sell the farm, but that shouldn't be your focus. If you're in debt, stop getting into more debt. Start saving, spending less money. Buckle down in case the economy continues to get worse and worse, which who knows what's going to happen this next year. But focus on making money, not selling your books and losing money, but focus on starting a business, working more hours at work. Focus on cutting costs. And the comic book business is a cost-intensive endeavor. There are people making money in this market, but they got to have deep pockets. Right now, what is that saying? When people are afraid, get greedy, and when they're greedy, be afraid. Look at all these books I'm buying behind me. I just spent $10,000 on auctions. If you're trying to sell your book for fair market value, no one's buying. The only people that have money, they're not spending fair market value. They're barely spending 50% of fair market value. Because the deals are out there. No one's shopping on eBay, except maybe a collector here and there who just doesn't have time to search and, hey, I want that book, I'm going to go get that book. But the places that are selling them way, way, way below fair market value, some of those are getting reported, some of them are not. So if you're broke, like I was in the 20s, and you just can't keep up with this anymore, and you made a bunch of investments over the last 2 years that are just tanking, I would just say, just put it down, walk away, and focus on something that brings you joy. Don't sell your comic books because you'll regret it later. If it's like gold, if it's like stocks, they'll go back up. If you got really in debt, to speculate on a very speculative market. That would be like going into debt to gamble on the stock market and then losing everything. That's one of those life lessons. You won't ever do it again. I gambled all my retirement at 29 in one stock, Oracle stock, in 1999. And then in 2001 came and my retirement went from $100 a share down to $8 a share overnight. And every penny I had was in Oracle stock because I worked there. And you learn. You learn, never put all your eggs in one basket. Diversify. If you're focused on the investment side. If you're focused on the collecting side and you're enjoying being a collector and you don't care about the future, a lot of us that are getting older, we're caring about the future. How do we liquidate these? I don't want to give all this crap to my kids. They don't want to deal with any of this. You see people that leave it to their kids and their kids are online going, I don't know, I got all this crud that now maybe if they're golden age and they were graded and they're, $1,000 books, then it could be exciting. But you inherit, 10,000 90s books, you're going to have to just pay money to a dump to take them. I mean, maybe give them away to a library, but who's going to take 10,000 bad independent books from the 90s, All the sexy covers aren't going to be great for a lot of kids' libraries and stuff like that. So, in any case, if you're feeling the heat, if you're watching this video, you're probably not one of those ones feeling the heat, unless you just think, oh, it's going to come back around. This is the time to buy. Yeah, I'm selling some here or there. Really unique books, typically you can't find anywhere else. If you're just got commodity books where there's 1,000 of them, like a lot of the hot 9/8s, there might be 500 to 1,000 of them, and you can get online and just find the cheapest. And even then, you can just put in the search features at certain auction sites and wait till it pops and not even spend fair market value. So anyways, take a break from it. Unless you're really enjoying it still, then obviously things aren't that bad. But anyways, my 2 cents on this. If you got the money, this is the time to buy. And this isn't going to be a quick flip like 3 years ago. Like all those people that lost money in NFTs, you're seeing that same kind of... I played the NFT game and I actually came out ahead and got out before it tanked. The comic books. And anyways, just wanted to let you know I felt the pain. You learn from that. And you'll make smarter choices in the future when it matters. And if you're later in life and you gambled your whole retirement away over this last 3 years, bad call. Just like the market. These aren't the brightest people playing comic books. These aren't sophisticated investors that are buying and selling real estate, that are buying and selling large stocks, buying and selling gold, that are doing comic books. These are like NFT collectors, and they heard people were making money and they jumped in and wanted to make a buck, and now they're finding out they can't get liquid. Well, the fair market value is $100. Well, that might be on eBay because some international buyer in Saudi Arabia wanted the book and he could only buy it from the US, so he paid the top dollar. But that's not what people in the US are paying. So a lot of people are under this false assumption that fair market value is what they're worth, like gold, and some bank needs to pay them what it's worth. And it just doesn't work that way with these collectibles, unfortunately. I think we all learn that over time. You might be able to liquidate everything, and 50% of last sale, not 50% of 90 day, even 50% of last sale. I collect mostly 9.8 CGC, so pricing is a lot easier. When you get into RAWs, it's so speculative. Anyways, I just wanted to give a shout out that I feel the pain. Just put it aside. If you can afford to buy and you want to buy and you're having fun, I'm having fun. I just got me about 59, all 9.8 books. I only buy 9.8 books right now. Those are all 9.8 keys. And I'm gambling that we're in that despair cycle and that we're going to come back up. And if I'm wrong, I can't be spending my rent money or my mortgage money. Eventually it'll come back up. And if I have to wait 3, 4, 5 years, and I probably am going to have to wait that long for some of these. Anyways, guys, happy hunting. It's supposed to be fun. If it's miserable and people are sad, just take a break. And that's part of collecting. That's how the long-term collectors have done it for 30, 40 years. For me, this is going on 43 years. Anyways, take care.